All right, good morning to me. It is Math 6, Week 4, and here we go. We're going to do quizzes 1, 2, and 3 in ratios, rates, and percentages. What I think is one of the more difficult, at times, units in Math 6. The ratios begin easy, but the rates and the percentages, they are packed with their challenges. So let's do quiz 1. If I write it down, you write it down. All right. So, converting to seconds. This is the time of year when we realize who has the prior knowledge we're expecting and who is lacking it in terms of asking students how many seconds are in a minute, how many hours are in a day. Some students are like, you realize you haven't really known that. But you need to know that. So if you don't, it's time. Okay. How many seconds are in a minute? 60 seconds are in 1 minute. Everybody should always know that. Also, 24 hours is 1 day. What else? Okay, that's all we need for now. But there's other really common conversions. How about the uncommon but well known by me? 2.54 pounds is 1 kilogram. I impressed the doctor's staff, at my children's medical center when they weighed them in kilograms, and I knew right away how many pounds that was because you just multiply by 2 and then add a little bit. Okay, but this one we are going to convert to seconds. So we have 4 minutes, and we know each minute is 60 seconds. Let's multiply that 4 times 60, and then that would be 240. So 4 minutes times 60 seconds is 240 seconds. And the way we think about it so that we understand what the final unit is, that's important. So we write it like this: 4 minutes, and then we'll multiply it by 60 seconds per 1 minute. And when we do that, you see that we have minutes on the top, minutes on the bottom, and anything on the top and the bottom in multiplication cancels. So we end up with only 1 unit left, that's seconds. And of course, you can see 4 times 60. All right, so 52 seconds was also in the original. So what do we do with that? We add it to the 240. So that's all we got to do. 9, 2. So 292. Let's see if that's right. Of course, it is. All right. Cups and pints. And so that is one that I actually don't know. I wish I did, though. I wish I had it up here. So you young folks, take your time now and memorize so you don't end up like old Mr. Field, not knowing all his conversions. It's not a fun place to be. I have this chart, but I wish it was in my head. So cups and pints. All right, it's right here. 1 cup, 1 pint is 2 cups. How could I have not known that? All right, so 2 cups, 1 pint. So let's do our little conversion thing I just showed you. And we're going to we want cups to cancel out. We want pints to be in our final answer. So we are going to multiply this so that cups is on the bottom and pints is on the top. See how this helps us? Maybe not. And so 1 pint is 2 cups. So 1 pint is 2 cups. And you can see the cups will cancel. And 98 times 1 is 98. And 1 times 2 is 2. So what we have to do as a final step is divide. So that's 49. Now, you may have you 75% chance you're saying, I could have done that without doing all that extra work. And that's a big part of sixth grade math. That we are showing you a tool or a strategy like this one that overcomplicates it right now. But if I had asked you to convert, 3 or 4 times to get from A to B, my strategy is going to be better than your strategy of just multiplying ad hoc. Okay? So pay attention when me or your teacher is showing you a new strategy that you think is overcomplicated, because it is preparing you for the future, okay? Which will be more complicated than your strategies, your current strategies can handle. Frederick read 471 pages of books this month. Jean read 3 times as many. How many did Jean read? Okay, so just multiply those two. You can do that. You don't need my help. Convert. You can do that. You don't need my help. Complete the table. Okay. Quarts and gallons. So look at this and see if you can set it up. And if you can, just put it in the organizer. Wow. That quiz got really easy for me. Okay. Quiz 2. Oop, I was already there. Oh, now what are we doing? In quiz 2, graphs and tables. And hopefully I've told you my little acronym, GET. Have I told you that yet? Telling you now. Graphs, equations, and tables. These are the 3 representations of math relationships, between 2 variables. We can graph it, we can make a table, we can write an equation. And so here we see a table, we see a graph, but they're ways of expressing the same thing. Oh, and a rule is to help us with the equation. So to find y, multiply x by 2 and then subtract 1. So multiply x by 2, 2x, subtract 1. So 2 times 1 minus 1. So that's 2 minus 1 is 1. That's 1. And then 2 times 3 minus 1 is 6 minus 1 equals 5. That's 5. And then 2 times 5 minus 1 is 10 minus 1 is 9. So notice how I did that? And ask if it didn't make sense, but that is how you do that. So 1, 5, 9. 1, 5, 9. And then choose the graph that fits it. So we want the graph that goes through 1, 1, 3, 5, and 5, 9. So this goes through 1, 1. This goes through 3, 5. It's that one. Okay. Which statement correctly describes the points plotted? Okay, so there's that point. Remember, when we're plotting points, it goes X, Y, and look at your labels. In case you're still getting used to which one's X and Y, it should be labeled for you. And it is here. The X is always across, Y is always up and down. And so this guy has an X value of 3 and a Y value. Well, there's a 0 right there. So the Y value is 0. Point is, nope. Just 3 units right of the origin. Yeah, this point right here is called the origin. And it's not on the y-axis. It's on the x-axis. Okay, a table is made using the following 2 patterns. Pattern X starting from Starting number 5, rule, add 5. Okay, so that would be like this, starting at 5, and then you add 5, right? Okay. Right? Whatever x is, you add 5. And pattern Y, starting number 1, add 1. Okay. So we're just going to, what is that, 10, 15, 2, 3. The terms in pattern Y are, oh, okay, now let's look at the relationship between these two. What do you notice? If we multiply, by 5, we'll get from y to x. So the y times 5 equals the x. But what if we start with the x? What do we have to multiply by y by to get to? No, if we start with the x, the bigger numbers, what do we have to multiply to get to the y? Well, that would be the reciprocal. If you multiply 10 by 1/5, you get 1. You get 2. If you multiply 5 by 1/5, you get 1. And if you multiply 15 by 1/5, you get 3. So it's the reciprocal that gets you the other direction. So the terms in y are multiplied by 5 to get x. But the other way, the terms in y are 1/5. The terms in y are the smaller numbers, so they are 1/5 times the terms that way. Sorry about that. Which rule describes the relationship between the input and the output? So there's a key point here. The input is the first column. A lot of times the x is there, the output is y. So get used to the x being the input, the y being the outputs. So as we look at the inputs and the outputs, what relationship do we notice between 3 and 9 and 5 and 15 and 7 and 21? Well, I noticed that if you multiply 3 by 3, you get 9, 5 by 3, you get 15, and 7 by 3, you get 21. So multiply the input by 3 to get the output. Did you notice that? So part of math is noticing the pattern between things. And so it could be multiplying, it could be adding, subtracting, or even dividing. Plot the point to 0. Okay. I should save that, but it's so easy, I just didn't. Okay, you can do this one. Moving on to our last quiz, quiz 3. I hope you are ready for quiz 3 here. You need to take a quick break, pause the video. I won't mind. I won't even know. And then come back to it. 4 people divided 10 scoops of lentils, which are beans, equally. Or in the bean family, I think. About how many scoops of lentils did each person get? Okay. So divide. So we're going to take that 10 and divide it by 4, like literally. And so what would that be? That would be 2 and then a 4th. So how did I do that? I know that if we do 4 into 10, 4 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract and you get 2. Now, what you do with, if you don't want to do a remainder of 2, you add a 0 and you bring down the 0. And then 4 goes into 20. Oh, I'm glad I'm doing this because I did it wrong the first time. So 4 goes into 25 times. And so 4 times 20 is 5. So actually it's 2.5. Okay, so each person, hold on. Okay, so that means everyone gets 2.5 scoops. So it's right there. Oh, look. 10 divided by 4 is not 4/10. 10 divided by 4 is 10 over 4. Okay. The fraction r over s must be equal to r divided by s. That is important to know. Now multiplying. I want to multiply. Anyway. Why would I not multiply? 5 times. Okay. Let's just think about it, I guess. 5 over 5 times 3/5, 1/2 times 3/5, and 2 2/3 times 3/5. So we're multiplying them all, but not actually, by 3/5. Do you see that? So whatever one is the biggest is still going to be the biggest, and whatever one is the smallest is still going to be the smallest. So which one is the smallest? 5/5, 1/2, or 2 2/3? Hopefully you're saying 1/2 is smaller than all of those. 5/5 is 1, and 2 2/3 is 2 2/3. So that's the biggest. There you go. So I didn't need to multiply, even though I wanted to, 10 divided by 4, I'm not doing that one. I'm not even going to get it right, because you can do it. 8 piglets, I already did that's all right. There we go. Now you try quizzes 1, 2, and 3, and then post in the organizer, like 6 times, and show your parents you posted 6 times. They should be looking and seeing your post and making sure that your posts look as good as all the other posts, or even are the best. That is what you guys should be doing, so that you come prepared every time.